What is up, everyone? Welcome to another edition of AOS Trash Pandas. I'm your host, Rob, and with me, as usual, is my co-host, Carson. How's it going, Carson?
Going pretty well. About 2.5 hours before the stream started, I had a filling, so
yeah.
This portion of my mouth is still numb. So if I sound like Rocky Balboa, that is why. How are you?
I was thinking you had like a Jean Chrétien thing going on, actually. Yeah, but...
I think he's a little before my time. I don't like.
Is he? You know where to go.
I don't. You're talking Prime Minister.
Yeah.
John Chrétien. Yeah. I don't remember him.
Oh, fair enough.
Because I was a child.
That's fair.
I feel like children usually aren't concerned with the prime ministers.
Yeah, typically. I guess you would have been a teenager.
Jean Chrétien. He was. Yeah. What was he like? Early 2000s. I would have been like 6.
He was like I remember listening to him like on the radio, like they were talking about like the insane amount of, I don't want to talk politics, but like whatever, overspending, I guess we'll call it. And that was like 2010.
Okay.
Yeah.
So then I would have been like 14. I thought 14. Wasn't Harper?
I don't remember. Okay. He was yeah, but anyway, yeah.
Either way, wildly off course.
Yeah. I don't know. Anyway, I actually meant to start on the rumor engine. What the hell is this?
I think that one's going to be Corn. Yeah, the one that you were showing on stream now.
Oh, yes. We'll see. Brayden, Sigmar Scotty, thank you for joining us. Pumped to see you this weekend. Carson was talking about how pumped he is to see you guys and the tournament in general. So that's going to be great. Yeah. So we are going to talk about, Carson actually scheduled the stream tonight, so I don't even know what you put in the thing, but we're going to be talking about the new GHB. We'll be talking about some of the stuff, the information that's out there about the GHB. We won't be showing anything, of course. The Edmonton Open, which is coming this weekend. And we are doing a battle report tomorrow.
Okay, I didn't put any of that in the stream name. It's actually called Apology Video 2026.mov. So
that's next week. Something. Yeah, that was next week. Yeah, okay, that's fair. I have nothing.
Because there's nothing to apologize for.
Yeah, I don't apologize. Yeah, I learned. Anyway, the rumor engine though is, I don't know. It's almost like an ink blot test or something like that, but in model form, where I'm just like, I don't even know where to start with this thing. It looks like a misprint or something like that, right?
Yeah, I'm getting like some sort of like structure or chariot or something, but with like ethereal or smoke covering it.
Oh,
so that's kind of what I'm thinking, like the little blobs in the
bottom
left. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. I was thinking like, is this like meat like sticking out of a cage or something like that? But I think yours is, I think that's more accurate. And so maybe it's Night Haunt.
Yeah, it could be a new unit for Night Haunt. That makes sense.
And speaking of Night Haunt, they're not coming next, apparently, after IDK. Remember how we were told it goes IDK and then Night Haunt and then the rest? I guess there was some kind of... by the way, I'm not like, this is no shade. Stuff happens, right? So they showed off this... Honestly, like... This is one of the coolest corn models I've actually ever seen, I think. I love the horns. I love the helmet. I love the axe. And I really like the shield. It reminds me of Gorok's shield. The Lizardman guy with the spiky shield. This is really cool. Like, it is... I don't know that they needed another corn... I don't know that they needed another foot hero. But hey,
yeah, they definitely didn't, but like more of this for sure.
Exactly.
Because this looks a lot more like what they're kind of doing with Slaves to Darkness, but they're just like chunky, armored up, huge dudes just like murdering people. Yeah. And then the corn side of things is like even more murdery and like berserkery.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what this kind of like reads as. And I think that the mortal sign of Khorne should definitely just look more like this for sure.
Yeah, exactly.
Because it's like the definition of less is more. Like I remember seeing a side by side of like this versus a 40k, like what do they call it? 8 chosen or whatever, something.
Oh,
It's
8
got
bound.
like 8 bound. And that thing is just it's so busy and weird looking. And then you look at this and it's just a muscly dude with red armor, an axe, and a weird shield. Like it's just so like this looks like an 80s metal poster or something.
It does. It like honestly like, and I'm not. Neither one of us is really into Khorne at all. And I mean, and I'm not. I don't think that that's like a thing against it. I actually think that this is like, I don't know, like, I don't want to say perfectly designed, but like I don't know what I would change. If anything, if I had to find something, I would maybe not like have the big Khorne symbol like on his chest, maybe. But I mean, you probably want a Khorne symbol on there. You know what I mean? He's already got it on the gauntlets. I don't know. Like, I think it's kind of perfect. Yeah, no notes, really. No notes, actually. Yeah.
Yeah, agreed.
So congrats to them. I'm sure everyone's very excited who plays Khorne. I'm kind of glad they're up first too, because I'm hoping that they actually change how they play a bit. Same with IDK. Like IDK have had the same rules for even longer, obviously, but like we know that they're going to change the tides of death. You know what I mean? There's going to be like the tides of the sea or something, and tides of the storm, or I forget what it was called, but like, you know, like Khorne is sort of, I don't love shields in Khorne. That's fair, but at least it's that shield is clearly also a weapon. Like that shield could kill you at least as easily as the axe. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. I mean, like Andy, or one of the Andys in our group, was saying it would be really cool if, like, instead of like another foot hero, and I'm paraphrasing here, but you had like 2 or 3 of these guys and they were like super elite infantry. And then I won't keep going from there, but like, yeah, like we were asking for this in Space Wolves for a long time, like kind of like elite berserker kind of infantry. But I don't know. I think he's awesome. Yeah. Howdy. Yo, Ludovicus, thanks for joining us. Saul, appreciate you. Mason, you know what they needed? Another, yeah, thanks, Mason. Yeah, I should have said in before everyone says, not another foot hero, but you know, and they're not wrong, but at least he's freaking rad. You know what I mean? Like, if they're going to add another foot hero, at least I think, in my opinion, they knocked it out of the park. So we are getting them next. Oh, and he's got a cool cape, by the way. I forgot to mention that. And then I guess it looks like you can like have 2 different backings on him. Either you can have a lot of skulls, or you can have some skulls and a cape. I say go for the cape. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
And then they showed off the front cover to the battle tome. Pretty, I don't know. It seems like they're focusing on like the infantry or like whatever, like the no-name kind of dudes. You know what I mean? In this edition, like it's been Storm Vermin and like, you know, what else? I'm trying to think, like a Brute or something was on the cover of the Auric War Clans, and you know what I mean? They're not seeming to like, or I guess there was a wolf dude or a wolf goblin guy on the goblin one. But it seems like they're focusing on that. I think a Graveguard for Soulblight. So I don't know. This one doesn't hit me, but I'm not the demographic for this. A Blood Warrior, right? A Blood Warrior. Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I was gonna say, like, I don't particularly like how the Blood Warriors look in general. They look like a little bit stubby and
right,
kind of like a little bit more like
they're kind of dated, right?
Yeah, they look a little dated, and this drawing actually emulates that a bit.
Yeah, fair.
So, yeah, it would have been nice if, like, even if they drew this new model, like the guy that they made, like that would have been great.
Yeah,
but
they have some kind of like, I think they have someone like at GW wrote a mission statement these covers, we should all just do the infantry because it's more evocative of an actual battle. And, this is the way I talk. But, in reality, that new, like that, the model, this new Khorne model, it looks like it could be almost like concept art. Like this is how we should design models from now on. And it's way cooler than that, but whatever. And then there's a new spearhead here. It's called Who Let the Dogs Out. Who. Yeah.
Excellent.
Thank you.
Well done.
I actually think it's pretty cool though. So I have a question though. So obviously you've got Karkajak or whatever the hell he's called, and then 2 units. Yeah, I did that on purpose. Damn it. Okay, but like, so then you've got the Warcry Warbound, Warcry. What did I just say? Warbound.
Yeah. Warband. Yeah.
Warband. Damn it.
Claws of Kenrick. Yeah.
Claws of Kenrick. Yeah, thank you. This guy in the middle though, he is part of that, right? He's not a hero, right? Okay.
Yeah, I believe there's 8 of them, which
checks out. That makes sense.
I think there's 8 of them.
Cool. I mean, not bad then. Khorne better not be copy and paste battle tome book.
Yeah.
Or IB piss off. Index. Yes, I agree, Darktron. I was just saying that actually a little bit ago. I would love to see them. Honestly, like, I'm sure there's going to be a big section of the Khorne players that disagree with this, but I think maybe there will be more. Like, I'm talking for you. I'm not going to play this army. Everyone like around me plays this damn army, and it's not like my thing anyway, unless they really changed like how it looks. Honestly, like I'm more inclined to go Dark Oath. Like I do like sort of, like Norska style barbarian, pagan, whatever bullcrap. But like, so I'm just like, I'm saying this for them. And I know everyone's like, this is not an original thought, right? But what if they designed Khorne for Timmy's? Like, what if they designed them so that they like played like you would think a Khorne army plays? You know what I mean? Like, remember when like Scaven like came out in AOS 2 and everyone's just like, wow, like this is how you design like an evocative book based on an army's lore. Like, wow, chef's kiss, no notes. It was amazing, right? What if they did that for Khorne? Because like they've always been like this crazy like 40 chests like whatever army, and like I guess the downside is of course like that a bunch of people probably bought them because they like that play style and that's why they play them. But I think more people play the army because they like the lore and whatnot, and obviously the models and stuff like that. So like, what if they were like this crazy savage like Timmy army? That'd be sick, right?
That would be cool. Yeah, it's tough because like, yeah, it's really weird and tough that like they have this identity as like a super techie army now.
Yeah,
but I don't know. Like I think the game needs that actually, despite many people really disliking it, and I think that it needs to happen before Khorne leaves. Otherwise, there's going to be like
before Khorne leaves.
Oh, sorry, before Khorne like of that style leaves the game. So like, let's say Khorne like transitions into something that's more Timmy-esque and more fighty and aligned with the lore.
Okay.
Something else has to pick up the mantle first, I think.
I mean, isn't KB already like really tricky and techie? I know they're bad, but like.
But I mean, like counter movement shenanigans like should exist in the game. I think
for sure. Yeah, no, that's true. I like honestly like I have like a problem with one rule in terms of like I don't like how it functions, but like even if they fix that, okay, but like what are the other like crazy armies like that? What are the other techie movement shenanigans armies?
To an extent, yeah.
Has
to an extent, Iron Jaws.
Yeah, Iron Jaws.
Um,
Yep, I was about to say that as well.
and
But
then
there's still a Timmy army though,
yep.
right? Or at least
So
that's
the
how
army,
I feel that they are.
yeah, like thematically, what Khorne is kind of exists in Destruction already. I think where like and
Right.
separated into multiple pieces. Like you have ogres where it's just like you want to be charging, you want to just smack stuff,
That's true.
uh, and that's it. You don't really care otherwise. And then you have Iron Jaws, which has got like again like it's just big smashy pieces, a little bit of movement shenanigans, like
Hmm.
you know that sort of stuff, which makes sense. But like I don't know, it's weird because like Khorne's in such an odd spot because they are so like at least the competitive community they're so known for being a techie army now that I don't know if they can or ever will change it.
Right.
Like,
That's true. It's kind of like though it's like, but if we talk like that, then nothing will ever change. It's like almost like the self
yeah,
fulfilling
I don't know if I
prophecy.
actually want it to change. Is the thing though.
No, I mean, hey,
Like,
well, and
I know
you're
that might
a
be
tournament. You're a super tournamenty guy, and you think along those lines. But like imagine if Skaven like didn't play at all like the lore, and they were, whatever, like a control army. You know what I mean? Just be like, ugh. Like, I'll paint them, but then let me know when they have a slot machine. Because if they don't, like, just don't even talk.
Skaven is a control army though.
It is kind of like after I said that, I was
Yeah.
like, well,
I know what you mean though. Yeah.
but like I was thinking more like Lumineth style control. You know what I mean?
Right.
Or
I would,
whatever.
I would actually
But, like,
argue that Skaven is extremely like consistent in its control, right? Or at least like up to this point in the GHB, like the solution was like, okay, I'm going to bring rattling guns, which people say like, oh, 3d6 shots, that's super random, but when you have 6 of them, that actually evens out like
very,
really, really
almost,
well.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And
so
sometimes
you're
you
very
spike a little bit, but it's generally you're talking usually at least still 40 shots minimum, and sometimes you're over 60. And
yeah, exactly. Like, and so in that sense, and then you have like 3 claw steps ahead, which is not random.
nope,
You have claw holes, which are not random. You have to spend
holes,
CP,
damn it.
or sorry, gnaw holes, sorry, which you have to spend a CP, which is like very predictable. So like, I
Right.
don't actually think they exist as like a, if you roll,
They're
super
not
well,
really like a slot machine army anymore.
no.
I mean, like there are some things in there that are pretty slot machiney, like the what's it called, rattling warp blaster, or, but like no one takes them because they're bad. The warp lightning cannon is another thing, and it keeps coming down in points. It's actually crazy. It's like it's going to be 120. Anyway, we're getting a little off topic, but like, I mean, we'll see, right? Like, maybe I'm the voice of the people, and maybe I'm the opposite. Maybe all the Timmy Corns have been weeded out, and now it's only tech bros that are left. Silicon Valley style tech bros, just getting their protein and working out and
Buying crypto.
buying crypto and doing calculus, just for fun.
That's what they do.
Yeah.
That's what they do down in Silicon Valley. Is just
Yeah,
just derivatives. That's it.
exactly. Yeah. Logarithms.
Just-
So yeah. Anyway, we'll see. But like the interesting thing though too is that. So what do we think happened? It was going to be IDK, then Night Haunt, and then everything else. And now Khorne is stepped up. Some kind of delay in Night Haunt, miscommunication.
Like a wild take would just be that Night Haunt maybe has more in its release. There's like several units or something like that.
Okay.
And that's why they're being delayed, because those models are delayed being made versus Khorne maybe just has like this 1 foot hero or like one extra thing and that's it. Like it's
Right.
not as big of a revamp.
Right. So maybe they just thought better of it. They were like, yeah, originally we're going to do this. And then like the Soul Blight got delayed or something. And they're just like, we'll shift things around. No one will remember. Yeah.
Yeah, because otherwise it would be 2 huge releases like next to each other essentially.
That's true. Or it's huge.
I mean,
The
or
IDK?
not huge. Like maybe I'm saying that maybe Night
Oh.
Haunt. or
Yeah.
I don't know, like a model kit from it is delayed or something like. Who knows, right? Like,
Yeah. Well, or it could be the book because like I think that's the only thing they get made in China now. So yeah, I don't know. It's just kind of interesting, a little curious. And then what else do we have? Actually, I guess that was pretty much it for in terms of what GW gave us for news.
yeah,
Um,
yeah. Really,
on
the big stuff is
purpose.
going to be dropping tomorrow. Where
Right. So
the app
tomorrow
is updating.
the app is updating, right? Okay.
Yeah.
So we're gonna get points tomorrow. What a
Yeah.
weird day to do that. Like, why didn't they do it last Saturday or this coming Saturday or like the Edmonton Open is this coming weekend and they're doing it like
Yeah.
if they'd updated it on Saturday, then it's so much easier to make sure you don't update your app over the weekend.
Yeah. Yeah, it's really silly.
I have so many questions. Yeah.
I don't think it was intended,
No, I guess not. You know.
or I think it was. There's probably like a last minute decision not to, or something like that,
Right.
or to like have these dates line up. Also, someone in the background. Hello.
She was just quantum leaping in.
From like a software development perspective, you never want to release anything on a weekend or on a Friday or something because your
Fair.
developers are not there.
That's a
and if
great
something
point.
goes wrong, you want to make sure you can hot fix it.
Right.
Like have a couple days buffer. So that's probably a reason why they want to do it like on a Wednesday. But yeah,
That's fair. You know, I feel like it's their developers though, so like they could just be like, our developers get Monday and Tuesdays off or something like that. You know. But
probably not their developers. They probably outsource it. I would imagine.
oh,
I
really?
actually have no idea. I have
Yeah,
no idea.
fair.
But
I like remember they are consistently like their tech is always a little screwy, so you know, like the apps have been pretty buggy. This new one's actually pretty good. I actually don't think I've had any problems with it now that I think about it, which is impressive. But yeah, put those guns away. I can't. It's too hot out. Yeah, and I'm trying to reflect into the camera and blind everyone with Lumineth style. Yee. Oh, no. Yeah. Damn it. Oh, I brought up. Exactly. Yeah. Our powers combined. The new kill team is coming out too. I mean, it has nothing to do with AOS, but I'm excited.
yeah, yeah, it's gonna be fun. I'm not gonna play it, but I'm sure it'll be fun.
I mean, I'm going to get them because the new Ravener models look absolutely insanely cool. And I have tried getting in. I mean, I'm trying to get into Kill Team a little bit on the side. Just haven't had much time or any time. I've only played one game, but it was cool. I liked what I saw. But I'm trying to concentrate more on AOS 4 now. Like, I really just haven't been playing enough games. And yeah, I'm quite energized by the new GHB. The plans seem awesome. The battle tactics even more so. Yeah, it just seems like a good time. So,
Yeah, the battle plan that you and I played last night had like that crazy underdog gets to like
Yeah.
carve a line across the battlefield type thing. Like,
yeah,
that's super cool. And it's one of those things too that's like, if you want to, there's really good counterplay to it where it's like, okay, I want to make sure I'm in none of the cross sections of any of the objectives, but that's like so clunky to be able to actually do. So
right.
like chances are you're going to be able to do it pretty well.
Well, I didn't even do it. I did the +1 to cast because I was having a lot of trouble getting all of my spells out. Oh, and I made another note for myself. Remember like that round when I was just like, oh, I'm not going to cast any spells at all. I forgot that the new Screaming Bell has the War Scroll spell where I can make it a Gnawhole. And I was like, oh, that would have been actually really, really good in this particular situation. Because I could have just teleported the... Anyway, that's neither here nor there. Yeah, so... It's pretty exciting, though. Like, just we're on the cusp of, like, all the awesome new, you know, season and whatnot. But, yeah. I don't know. I don't know what to say. I haven't been paying attention to the chat. I'm sorry. Bad Rob. All that from Darktron's one comment, by the way, about, like, it better not be the same book, you know? And I agree with you. Good evening, Jason. Thank you. I missed the old tech from Korn that was in 3rd edition. I don't remember Korn that well. Oh, that's right, because it was the what's it called, Bloodlust or whatever the heck it's called, Murderlust was in the hero phase, right? Yeah, that was cool.
And it was up to 3 units.
It was up to 3 units, right?
Yeah.
Right. But you could do the same unit. Yeah, that's true. That's like that's pretty cool, man. I actually agree with that. And then I'd love to see Korn get their own kind of dragon. Oh yeah. I mean, do you remember the Forge World dragon? Like, it was a little whatever, but it was big and it was just kind of cool. You know what I mean?
What was his name again? I think it was like Korgorath or Korgorath, something like that.
It's like something like that. Like, they all sound the same in the end to me. I can look it up for sure if anyone wants me to, but
I remember a clubmate of ours brought it to a games day.
Miguel?
Yeah.
I
don't know, it was to a tournament. He was just like, "Can I bring this?" And we're like, "Why not? It's like an internal thing. Do it."
Right. It was an internal tournament. Yeah, he actually bought it back when it first came out from Forge World.
Yeah.
And I think it was like $1,200 or something crazy.
That doesn't surprise me. The thing is huge.
It's huge. I mean, I bought the Dreadsaurian though, and the Dreadsaurian, they used to call it the house cat because it's the size of like a small house cat. But yeah. Vorgoroth. Thank you, Riley. Wait, don't skip the moment Rob said tournament? I don't know what that means, but I'm going to move on. I don't remember.
It was when you mispronounced tournament or something.
Oh, did I?
You're combining serious tournament. Something.
God dang it. Thanks for remembering, Carson. Appreciate that. The problem is, like, sometimes, like, if I've got the headset on, it makes me whatever. It's hard to. Yo, Jason, thank you so much for the give subs. 5 give subs. Monk, Chris, Jog Paul. Yo, Jog Paul, thank you again. I appreciate you. Sorry, Jog Paul. I'm sorry, I'm probably mispronouncing your name, but he ordered some dice. I think he got the last set of orc dice.
Sold out.
Yeah,
they're all gone.
They're sold out like record, but I'm already, getting another set made up. Matthew and Michael, congrats to all the people who got it. Very kind, Jason. Really appreciate you, man. And so I gotta scroll up a bit here. 2 claw steps triggered, Monk said. I wasn't sure if you were, because one of the things that came down was Kritok Foulblade again. He's down like another 20 points, I think. I think he's like 160 points now. I'm kind of going, like, for access to just another, like, it does cost a CP and it has to be Verminous, but like, and then what if you have the bell and you've got a warp seer, so you're moving like 10 inches for a unit of clan rats?
Yeah, it's just such a tough sell for a foot hero that isn't particularly crazy slappy.
That's true.
Who isn't a priest or wizard, and
that's true.
Doesn't have like major utility without spending extra resources.
So you're saying he's actually too many points?
Well, it's just like
no, I
it's just other stuff you want more.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, it's true. And I don't remember if they changed it, but before he could only take Verminous units. So, but it's like, okay, but like, if I'm gonna 3 claw steps another unit, it's probably gonna be a unit of clan rats, right? I'm probably gonna try and kind of move things around. So, yeah. And then if GW wanted to feel more Scaven, it'd be 3d6 for the unit bonus. It'd also be way better for the flow of the game.
I think he means like, instead of rattling guns, you roll 3d6 for each. You'd roll 3d6, and that's each of their attack characteristics.
Oh, I see.
It's the same for all of them.
Oh, I see. Just make it a better profile. Like,
no, I mean, like they share the same 3d6.
Oh, that's true. That's true. Yeah. I mean, like, but I want to roll them all. I want to roll them all. You know.
No, you'll roll all the attacks.
No,
but,
I know. I understand, but I want to roll that many attacks. Like it's more fun. It's 18d6 attacks is way more fun than 3d6 times 6, you know. Call me old fashioned.
Yeah, that's fair.
But yeah. But you're not wrong. Like, and that would be faster as well. But yeah, a Reaver centric horde detachment for Khorne. Yeah, absolutely. And that would really lean into the Blood Tithe points, because you're just like sacrificing them over and over with the start of the new fiscal year. Oh, okay. I never paid attention to that. Scaven do look in this new GHB, says Hannah. I'm assuming, yeah, you meant good. I agree, Hannah. As always, I agree with you. The like, they didn't just, like, the last time we got like a points decrease on stuff, it was mostly stuff that I wasn't really taking. And they finally lowered Scourgers by 10 points. They're still doing less damage on average than Rattling Guns, and they're still more expensive than them. But it's something, like, they recognize that no one was ever taking them. So yeah, I'm super happy about a bunch of stuff in there, actually. Yeah. Like, I think, like, almost everything that, like, everyone, like, that some people, like, or almost everything that people are taking a little bit of went down. You know, Warp Seer, like, all the Vermin Lords, pretty much. You know, like, a lot of the named characters, you know, like everything except for, like, Clan Rats and a few things that were, like, in virtually every list, almost, you know. So
right.
They seem to do a good job.
Yeah.
What up, McRat?
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see, like, the full official battle scroll tomorrow. Like, it's been leaked by a lot of people at this point.
It has. Yep.
But we don't have, like, the actual PDF. Like, for all we know, there's last minute changes. For all we know, like,
that's true.
Slight wording differences on certain things. Like, we've heard about one interesting thing, which is the priority reroll. If you outdrop your opponent,
right.
Or rather, if you have more drops than your opponent, you get once per game. You can reroll one of your priority rolls, which is pretty huge.
I thought that was actually in the GHB. It's not.
No, that's battle scroll. So that's pretty cool.
That would be a great change, hey?
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, there's I think it's going to be interesting to see how things shake out. Like, cities did not need more points, in my opinion. Like, they got a whole bunch of points reductions, which is pretty crazy to me.
Yep. Especially considering the new rules they got as well.
Yeah. I think that, like, cities and Daughters of Cain are probably going to be the two, like, big problems. But I think cities is still going to be an army where people won't necessarily make the, like, best list choices, because there's so many options and it's such a deep book, and because there's so many different things to keep in mind. Right. But it's going to be one of those things where if you have cities in the hands of, like, a really good player, like Jeremy Lefebvre or Devin Cortman or Jake from Team Canada, like, both of those players, they're just going to wreck people because it's just too powerful. And I've also seen Tom Guan, like, toying with the Command Corp spam list.
I heard about that too.
Anytime there's a spam list, like, Tom Guan is like, hello, like, it's
yeah,
time to waltz into this tournament. Yeah.
Remember me? Remember 200 zombies? Remember 200 clan rats or whatever? Yeah. It's time. Triple redeploy may just scratch that combo. Yeah, I don't mind that for Skaven. The problem is that it's like, I feel like they're all the units, like all the Molder units were designed to be taken in Flesh Meld, and all the Scryer units were designed to be taken in, and I don't think that they really, like, do their job properly unless they're taken in those, you know, factions. But I could be wrong. I'm excited about that faction just because it's, like, the first faction where it's not like you feel like you're forced to just take all of one thing. So, yeah. But we'll see.
Eckhart says Night Haunt is also going to be a big problem. That terrain feature is not okay. Yeah, it's pretty.
It's pretty good, but they're doing pretty poopy right now, though, too, right?
Well, the terrain features, is it even legal yet?
That's what I'm saying, though. So, like, do you guys think that the terrain feature will be enough to like take an army that's poopy and make them like a problem, or is it just going to make them, viable?
Yeah, I think it's going to be a combination of things. Like that terrain feature is extremely good.
No, I agree.
So that's gonna elevate
I agree.
them.
It's way better than the Soulblight one.
And then I believe they got some points buffs as well.
Oh, did they? I didn't actually pay attention.
And then in addition to that, the all-out attack and all-out defense changes are like, it's only good for them. Like
unless it's characteristic, though, right?
It's not. Like we've seen it.
Oh, it's not? Oh, shoot. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
That
So
was
like
something a lot of us were clinging to about Night Haunt.
Yeah. So there's no downside for all out attacking them, and they never used all out defense anyway. So
that's true.
Didn't matter.
Yep. Right.
Yeah. Saul says, I think Gargants will also have a bit of an issue in the new GHB. Do you think they're going to be an issue, or they're going to have an issue? I personally think it's the latter. Just because.
What did you say?
I was asking if he thinks that Gargants are going to be an issue, or they'll like have an issue, as in they'll struggle.
Yeah.
And I think they're probably going to struggle. Just because they can never benefit from any of these super powerful obscuring rules. And then they're base hitting on 4s, so they almost always want to all-out attack, which means the counter punch is always going to
that's a good
really hurt them.
Right.
Like really badly. And then it's also really common for someone to like dogpile a Gargant, and only being +1 to save against one of the attacks is not great.
That's true. Yeah. I agree. Interesting. Yeah. I guess we'll have to kind of see how things play out. I mean, it's possible even that like Night Haunt will get some kind of like battle scroll thing, maybe. Like, because where else would it appear? You know what I mean?
For what? Or like an
for
update
like when they might say like with these new rules, when Night Haunt specifically gets this when they all out attack or something. You know what I mean?
I kind of doubt it, to be honest.
I doubt it too. I'm not saying that, but if they were going to do something like that, we wouldn't have seen it yet, and it would be coming out tomorrow, right? So, like, we just don't have enough information right now.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah, that's true. Very true.
They've like even in previous battle scrolls, they've done stuff like was it? I think it was Croxagore last edition. They went from 4 to 5 wounds, and like little things like that. Like they've made War Scroll adjustments that are permanent. Like the Scourge of Gyran stuff were, like these War Scrolls that we're going to use for a year, but that doesn't mean it's the only thing that they're changing about War Scrolls, about rules. So, yeah, we'll see, I guess, but nah.
That's fair. Also, Asri just posted the Tom Guan list making flowchart in a Discord.
Okay.
If you wanna give that a look.
Is it in the wait, sorry, where is it?
I'll send you a link.
Thank y'all. Oh, did he post it on the Discord?
Yeah, he did.
Got it. Yeah, I'm in streaming mode, so it's not telling me anything. Thank you.
No problem.
Okay. I'm going to open it up on... Yeah. So this does look good. Wait. Let's open it in a new... Oh, no. That was already as big as it gets, apparently. So where do we start with this thing?
Top left.
Top left. Okay. Tom needs a list. So, does it have recursion? Yes. Does it have at least 150 models? Yes. Does it do mortal wounds? Yes. It's cancer. Play it. Okay. I like it. I like it so far. What about no? So Tom needs a list. Does it have recursion? No. Does it shoot? No. Womp womp, start over. Okay. Does it have recursion? No. And then does it shoot? Yes. I don't see the actual.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah. And then does it have at least 120 shots? Yes. Does the opponent get to shoot back? And then yes goes down a womp womp. No, it's cancer. Play it. Yeah, that's godlike. Oh shoot. What's like? Was that from another Discord? I assume.
I assume it's from the Austin Weird Mobs. If it's Azri.
Oh, that's so good.
Yeah.
That's godlike.
Well done. Well done.
Yeah. We can't hear Carson, but we'll just imagine that he's doing it.
Yeah. Your own clapping sounds over mine.
Yeah.
ADR clapping. How about
ADR. Yes. Yeah.
that? Couple other things to talk about as well, other than the GHB2. I guess just kind of like rifling off a few like tournament related things. Just like a PSA that Cake or Death 2, otherwise known as Bread or Dead, is going to be October 3rd and 4th weekend, where instead of a cake contest, it's going to be a bread making contest as well as a tournament. We're going to be we're going to be posting the BCP page on June 21st, just because it tends to sell out like super quickly. So we're just making sure that's like, this is the day, be prepared, because last time the link like leaked and it was sold out before people even knew it existed, and it kind of like ruffled some feathers. Right. So June 21st is when that's happening. Second tournament related thing.
Wait.
What's up?
And you're going to be running it.
I am with Eric.
Yep.
So normally we run Wet Coast. We will no longer be doing Wet Coast. We're going to be teaming up with Dale and doing basically like the second Cake or Death every year, Bread or Dead. And then, yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be fun.
That's awesome. Sorry. Yep. And then the rest.
So myself, Madigan, and Fred Schmidt basically have started up an online teams tournament called Leaves and Stripes, where basically, if you're familiar with Release the Beast, that's like a Euro-centric, Euro time zone focused kind of like online teams tournament.
Okay.
This one's going to be like the North America version of that, essentially. So it's already got quite a few people in the Discord. It's like almost 100 already, which is pretty sweet. If you want to sign up with the team, I think June 15th is the list submission deadline, or maybe June 20. No, it's like 22nd, I think is what it is.
Wow. That's pretty soon.
Yeah, it's in a couple of weeks is the submission deadline. So get together a team. The pack's there to explain it all. I think it's a really good way to get into doing teams tournament. Our club is going to be putting together a team. A bunch of the people have never done a teams tournament before, so I think it's going to be a really good like intro to it. Yep, Rob's going to be there, so that'll be fun. And yeah, go check it out. I'll post links for both of those in the Discord. Or actually, not Cake or Death. I'll post that later. But for the Leaves and Stars, Stripes, Leaves and Stars, it's going to be. I'll post that in the Discord after.
And it's like you have like 2 weeks to play 3 games or something, right?
No, it's it's like 3 concurrent rounds. Okay. And sorry, Amazon's buzzing in. You have 3 concurrent rounds where basically you'll have like a month to do pairings and play all of them. So you want to play 3 games over like the course of about a month.
Oh, neat. Okay. Yeah, it's even easier, even better.
Yeah, and it's basically going from like the end of June to the beginning of August. So it's actually a little bit more than a month.
Okay, sick. That's really cool.
Yeah, Azri asks, will it be on the new GHB? Yes, it will. There's plenty of information.
Yeah, you're like, no, it's not. I'm like, what? It's not.
Yeah.
I'm out.
Screw you guys.
Yeah.
No, it's it'll be new GHB. The rules cutoff I think is the 15th, but then list submission I think is a week after that. So yeah, come on down. I think it's gonna be fun.
Asri says, I missed this earlier, by the way. Sorry, there's been a lot more comments tonight. So he said, I can neither confirm nor deny that I made that meaning the graph. That's That's amazing. If I actually focused more on playing one army, I would probably be a better player. But I'm ADD. D as squirrel. Yeah, I think that's true of everyone. Like the best I was ever at Age of Sigmar, I was just playing Scaven, like only Scaven, and that was like an AOS 2, by the way. I played like 100 games in a year for like over 100 games in a year, and yeah, it was so awesome. I just can't right now. I just can't do it. But I'm actually kind of using this tournament though to get into TTS more. It's like something that I've always kind of wanted to do, but then I only play like one game of TTS like every 6 months or something like that, and then I'm just like, and actually I think it's even less now because like I think I've played one game of TTS. It was with you shortly after AOS 4 came out, and I don't think I've played anything since then, and we're approaching a year now since AOS 4 has been out. But I'm hoping this will give me the impetus to sort of get regular practice games with TTS, get better with TTS, and then also just it's an excuse to play more AOS 4. It's easier to schedule, so
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, all of the games are going to be scheduled. Again, they have to be scheduled at a reasonable time for like PST to EST time zones. And then there's even a penalty if there's like one person who is clearly being the schedule conflict person. So like if they're never available on like evenings or weekends, which is the standard time, and you can't find any other time that works, then it's like an automatic negative 60 points for that matchup, which is pretty big deal. So
I mean, yeah, it's kind of just how you have to do it though, right?
Yeah, otherwise like it's just going to be you have to make sure that people sign up schedule their games.
And so you make a list for the whole thing, right?
Yep.
And then like what if someone has to drop, then
you can do substitutions from someone else on your team.
But they just have to play the same list.
Yes, exactly.
Well, I mean, it's TTS, so you just need to download the files and you're good.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, exactly.
So, okay.
Exactly. Do you want to take a guess at how many games I play? Actually, there's going to be 5 more because Edmonton's going to be on the old GHB.
Right.
But do you want to take
a
guess at how many games I played of the old GHB so far?
Of the old GHB?
Like from the start of 4th to now, basically. Yeah.
Just give me a second. This includes all your tournament games.
Yeah, it does.
Damn, because that's like 5. Like it feels like every second weekend. I'm gonna guess. I know it's a lot, so I'm gonna try and guess. I'm gonna try and like get the right answer. You know what I mean? Like sometimes when people are like guess this, and then you're like you like guess how much I paid for these shoes, and you're like $20, and they're like it was 25. Like why are you guessing so low? And I'm like because I know it's going to be a good deal when you say this, right? Okay, I'm gonna say. I'm really trying to get the right answer here. Okay, 172. More than that? That's crazy.
Yeah.
Is it over 200?
Yeah.
What? Wait, what? So you're like averaging a game like every like 2 out of 3 days or something? Jeez. 222. More. Just tell me. This is getting ridiculous.
It's 237.
Jeez Louise.
Or it'll be, I guess after this weekend, it'll be 241. So
you're literally playing a game, like you're playing like 3 to 4 games a week.
On average, yeah. But like.
Most of those are on TTS?
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
The thing is, though, is like a lot of it is like a tournament that's 5 games over 2 days. So that skews quite a bit. And then another thing to keep in mind is that's all games. Like that's tournaments and practice games. I log everything just so that I actually keep a little spreadsheet that shows like how many times I've played each army and how many times I've played against each army.
Wow.
And I've reset it now that there's the new GHB.
Don't forget to add the 5 games for this weekend. I know you said that already, but you'll need to add that
exactly.
onto there. Yeah. It's time for a new spreadsheet.
Yeah.
Yay.
Exactly. But yeah, it's
people are people listing in the chat. Asri played 131 tournament games in 4th so far. That's freaking crazy.
That's probably more than me, to be honest.
Yeah. Well, 131. So like 5 games, 5 to 6 games, but like call it an average of 5 games, right?
Yeah, that's like 25 tournaments.
25 tournaments. So that's like you're entering a tournament every second weekend or a little less than that, but that's still freaking
Yeah, that's crazy.
That's nuts, dude. Compared to King Cheese, he had 400 plus games before WCW last year. Who's King Cheese? Oh, I guess that's Tom Guan?
Maybe. King Cheese Wargaming is a club, and that's Fabian's club.
Oh, got it.
So maybe he could be talking about Tom Guan, yeah. But like it comes in like there's peaks and valleys, right? Like
fair.
A lot of RTTs. That makes sense. Yeah, if you go like a 1 day or 3 games, that makes sense.
Right. Yeah, that's true. I like what's interesting is I'm playing less Age of Sigmar than I ever have since I joined in AOS 1. And it's mostly just because, you know what I mean? Like, I'm actually playing like quite a few games this week. Like, I played against Mike on Sunday for my first game of the new GHB. I played you yesterday. I'm supposed to play you tomorrow on stream, and I'm playing Selwood on Thursday. So that's 4 games in 1 week. So like I'm already upping my, my abysmal numbers thus far. But wow, yeah, that's crazy.
It tends to be like really feast or famine, right? Like it's very Like I remember when we did the in-person teams practice for like Team PNW before NA Masters.
Right.
We all went to Beasley's place and played like more games than you had played at GT. Like it was like it was a lot. I think it was more than 10. I think.
If you're not sleeping, you're playing a game of Sigmar.
Pretty much, yeah. Essentially, yeah.
That's pretty cool.
And then
that's so awesome though. Like I would love to even just go to like that. I would love to just like go to one of those things and just play Sigmar all day long. You know what I mean? I'm not used to doing that, so it might like tire me out, but whatever.
Yeah. It's really tiring, but it's a lot of fun. Like if in the past you've ever done like a LAN party or a game jam, like it's
that's
very
exactly
similar.
what I was thinking of. Oh man, LAN party, baby. Yeah. Oh shoot. That's so sick.
And it's really nice just to but yeah, anyway, those types of weekends, like those will skew the amount of games you play a lot. So because like there's definitely been periods of a week or two where I didn't play any games, right? Just because maybe I know there's a battle scroll coming and I'm like, I just want to wait. Like I don't particularly want to spend time playing the old rules or something like that, or I don't have any tournaments coming up, but like this
also,
summer
like, it's good to take a break every now and again. I feel like that's probably better in the long term.
Yeah, 100%. But like this summer I've got 6 tournaments, I think. Which is more than I usually have over the summer.
When you say summer, you mean July, August, or do you mean like the full 3 months that is the summer?
I'm counting into September too. But,
wow. Okay. That's still pretty good though.
Yeah.
So
but it's
that is Northern Wastes.
Yep.
That is Edmonton Open, and that's Tacoma.
Yep. And then Battered Bison 6.
Oh, 6. Oh, I don't know what I was thinking because like that's not 3 isn't that much actually. Battered Bison. I don't know how I forgot Battered Bison. Like I'm sending them dice.
Richmond reroll, and then the 5 alarm GT.
Richmond reroll 5 alarm. 5 alarm's the one in Eastern BC.
Yep.
Cool.
Spartwood.
Nice. Yeah, and Selwood went out there to the last one, and he said it was one of the funnest tournaments he's been to, and Andy gets around.
Oh yeah. Yeah, he does.
Yeah. Loose as a goose, that guy.
Yeah.
But
Andy Swangin' Selwood, that's what they call him. but it's yeah, it seems like a really fun group of people. I'm excited to go.
Fun group of people, and like, yeah, actually, I don't want to say what, like, there was a couple of reasons he told me why he had so much fun, but I don't want to like put any pressure on them to, you know what I mean?
Okay, yeah.
If they get a bunch of new people out there, but you know what I mean? But yeah, it's cool.
Yeah,
and thanks to Matthias, he said King Cheese is Fabian. That delay always gets us, but appreciate, you know, letting us know. Arthur says, I'm here all, don't worry. I was getting pretty nervous, actually. Carson and I were chatting in a separate window and just saying, like, maybe we should send a wellness check, or, you know what I mean?
Where is he?
Yeah. The tracker wasn't working. Yeah. My guys that are like normally outside your window are just like, don't see him.
We don't see him. Yeah.
I don't know what the scoot is. So yeah, it's good to know. I'm glad.
Should fire those guys.
Yeah.
They're pretty bad at the job.
Yeah, it was like it was the two guys from Breaking Bad. You know what I mean?
Huel and isn't it Bill Burr?
Oh no, not them. No, not them. I meant the two stoner guys that point the lasers or whatever at the end. Yeah.
Right.
I can't remember. Huel, and Bill Burr. Yeah, Bill Burr is the fake. He's basically like a con man, I guess. But
yeah.
Oh man, good times. I was like, how did you remember those guys? Like, have you? Because I haven't seen that show in like, I don't know, a long time. So let's go on.
Isn't one of the stoner guys named like Badger or something?
Yes, that's right. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, I'm so bad with names. Badger is the curly haired guy, right?
I thought Badger was the guy with this like weird, like high pitch voice, or not high pitch, but like he's got. I don't know. Whatever.
It's funny that I have like an open window of Google that I can literally just open.
I knew Matthias would get it because he loves Breaking Bad. Badger and Skinny Pete.
Oh, nice. Yeah. It was a great show. I did a number of years ago start to like watch the whole thing all over again, but that last season is such a downer. You know what I mean? As soon as Jesse is whatever, I don't want to give anything away, even this late, just because it's like a classic show. Like some people have like been, you know, they don't get around to seeing stuff. Like I didn't see Deadwood until like a year ago, and like that show is amazing. Eric has been telling me forever it's like his favorite show ever, and holy moly! But it's pretty, it's pretty hard to take at times, but like the quality of it's insane. But yeah, and that's an even older show, obviously. The paint job is sick as well. The model is sick too. Skinny Pete and Badger is so awesome. By the way, I do like Better Call Saul even more though. That show is like insanely good. But you play more 40K than AOS, but you've hobbied it for almost 2 years. I think AOS is clearly the better hobby army. But I did see earlier, Saul, that you played Genestealer Cult, and so chef's kiss. Good job. Man of the people. It's a light summer for me. I've actually Outlaw in Dallas. Oh, cool. I always get it mixed up. Is Asri the guy that took you for the sweet potato pie?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. I don't know why. I'm like, I'm pretty sure that's a different guy, but then eventually it's gonna, solidify.
Yeah, you kind of start to like separate people's online personas from them in real life.
Yeah.
Because like I would never call him Asri when I saw him in real life.
Well, exactly, and I've never met him in real life, so it's kind of hard. Well, I'm bad with names anyway. You know, I'm bad with names, and like how like a lot of people are like I'm bad with names, but I never forget a face. I forget faces all the time. Like that's not. I'm good with voices, only voices. Yeah, that's my one.
For me, it's like particularly smell of the back of the knee.
The back of the knee.
Yeah, I'm like, hold on.
Damn, that's specific.
Sure.
Just
uncurl
your knee for me for a sec. Yeah. Oh, yeah. You're Rod with 2 D's.
That's
now.
right.
Yeah.
Old double D. That's what they call you. Yeah.
Exactly.
Double D Rod, that's what they call you. As we says, alas, I won't be going to Seattle for teams. Oh, that sucks. For the Texas team, you mean? Yeah, that's unfortunate. I think he means NA Masters, which got moved to January.
Oh.
So Ricky Fisher kind of took the mantle of hosting NA Masters just because when LVO changed to October, it ended up being either the same weekend or like so close to NA Masters that they're like, we can't do this weekend anymore. And it just like messed with their schedule so bad that
last year it was it in Carolina?
Boston,
yeah. Way off.
Yeah.
I didn't say north versus south.
That's true. Yeah.
Yep.
Way off either way.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's going to be hosted in Seattle in January instead.
That's awesome.
It's going to be 3 days instead of 2 days. So it'll be 6 games, and then there's going to be 10 teams instead of 8 teams because California was like always its own team. But Texas and like the Southwest was kind of combined into one. So that was like New Mexico, Arizona, and Texas was all one team. Cool. The Southwest is now its own team.
Wait, what do you mean?
So there's Texas, which is its own team now.
Oh, I see. Texas is there. I see. Okay, I misunderstood.
So Texas kind of split off from the Southwest.
No, that Texas troublemaker.
And then the other new team is Great Plains. So basically, like all of the middle states that form kind of like that corridor of farmland is their own.
They're
team
gonna
now.
hate you.
Yeah, they will. But they got nothing else to do all day other than
hate
play
Carson.
Sigmar.
Oh, okay, yeah, there's that too. I forgot. Yeah. Oh my god, that's too funny. So are they not gonna? They're not gonna be named like Azir and all these other names anymore.
No,
man.
I don't think so. Yeah.
I was really looking forward to just trashing the names they made again.
Well, because there can't be because there's 8 or 10 teams, right?
Yeah. Well, you could. There's like the, like the Scaven zone or whatever, and like, you could get creative. I feel like,
That's true. Yeah, that's true.
You got Tyrion's part of Hish, and you've got Teclis's part of Hish, or I don't know. Yeah, you had North and South Azir.
Yeah.
Or East and West Azir if it was Canada again. Oh man, that's awesome.
Yeah, it's going to be really awkward. Speaking of Canada, it's going to be really awkward that I'm the captain of Team Canada and not on the Canadian team for any Masters.
Well, I mean, like, you're in BC. Like, of course, there should be in the Northwest one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's fair. If anything, there should be subregions of Canada beyond all of Canada except BC.
It should actually be BC, all the provinces in between Ontario.
Yeah. Prairies, basically. Yeah.
Yeah, basically all the prairies, and then maybe Ontario. I don't know. I was going to say Ontario and like everything east of there as well, but
yeah, the issue is like there's definitely a meta in the prairies, so like Alberta, Saskatchewan,
right,
and Manitoba. Definitely like a very well connected meta there. Ontario obviously has a huge meta there, like in the Toronto area. East of Toronto, I don't know.
I think Quebec has a scene, but
Quebec does have a scene, yeah. No, actually, that's true. Quebec could have a team.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
I was kind of considering them the same as
So then maybe Ontario and like the maritime provinces.
Yeah.
And then I think none of it should have its own team.
Yes.
Yukon, its own team.
Obviously.
Yeah. Okay. As long as we're on the same page here.
Yeah, the White Horse Warriors. Of course.
White Horse Warriors love it. Yeah. What was do you know the name of your high school mascot?
Sam or something, like it was
Sam?
or like sorry, there were 2 high schools that I went to. The first one, we were the Titans, so like it was just a Roman dude.
That's cool. Yeah, no, that's awesome. Yeah,
but yeah,
we were the Highlanders. I just thought that was weird. Yeah. But like our colors were like tartan, like red tartan. It was kind of cool, but there was like a vaguely racist depiction of like a Scottish person. As the
Nice.
mascot.
Nice.
Yeah, as is tradition. If you're a mascot and you're not an animal.
Belligerent, drunk, almost showing his testicles.
Whoa!
Yeah.
How did you know? Did you go to did you go to my high school? Yeah, no, it was good.
Didn't have to.
Yeah. It's like I was there. Yeah, it was a good time. The Hornets. I actually wanted I was gonna say sound off in the comments and in the chat here. Like I wanted to know, I want to know. Yeah. Oh man.
Yeah.
Actually, I have another thing for the comments. I waited too long. We're like an hour in now. But what army, like if you play multiple armies, what army are you the most excited about after seeing the GHB and the GHB leaks and the points and stuff like that, Like, I feel like you're obviously... You do play multiple armies, technically. You have 2 armies that you play, right? But you're most excited for ogres?
Yeah, I would say so.
Do you think there's a possibility you might do cities?
Yeah, 100%. I really want to start painting my cities up.
Yeah.
In the background. So I think, honestly, I'll probably be setting my Slaves to Darkness to the side for a little bit, just because like I really am not inspired by them at the moment.
Yeah.
They're kind of getting back to where they were in third, where it's like, okay, this is just boring now. Like there's no tech, there's no like interesting things.
What about Dark Oath? I mean, I get that you might not want to paint them or whatever, but
yeah, I think they're fine. Like I don't think the army's bad. I just don't think it's interesting.
Yeah, no, and that's what you said last edition too.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was your whole point last edition.
Yeah, so I'm probably just gonna like pick a city and then paint the humans that I have like in the scheme of that city.
Cool.
So I've
Are
got
you going to base it around lore or like colors and what you think like is
just the colors
prettier? Cool.
Yeah. So that'll probably be that. And then you got like the transfer, like because I have the army box and I have the spearhead. So that gives me 10 Cavaliers, 30 Steel Helms, a Cavalier Marshal, an Alchemite Warforger, and some other stuff, a cannon. So it's like a good starting point. And I think that I can paint like a couple Cavaliers and a couple Steel Helms and like a couple of the heroes and just kind of go from there.
Okay.
And then probably not have like a super optimized list at the start, but at least see where it goes. And hopefully it's a little faster to paint than my Slaves to Darkness, because like I can paint my ogres pretty quickly.
Yeah. But I feel like anything's going to be faster than picking out a new paint scheme for each model.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
Maybe.
There's a certain amount of mental fatigue that goes into it too, where I'm just like,
yeah,
I've done red and blue, but I guess this can be red and blue on different parts of the models.
Do you have a color wheel?
I do, but it's like there's only so many color combinations, right?
That's true. But like it depends on the one that you look at, like how you I thought mine fell apart. I've got this one that I really like. It's a yarn one. And like, oh man, it's awesome. If you can find this one, it's called Pick, Point, and Match Rainbow Color Selector. It's sick. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that a lot. I want to see what you do, because like, you've really only painted 2 armies so far, I mean, that's like, I was kind of saying like, I'm not exaggerating, right? But like, I don't think I am at all.
No. Yeah, it's just been those 2.
Okay.
That's
how much are cannons, like, money-wise?
Money-wise?
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean,
like
it
$70.
just comes in probably, but it just comes in the spearhead, so.
No, I know. I'm like, how we do like a Christmas miniature exchange?
Right.
Like, I'm looking at like so many different miniatures, and I'm just like, what does that cost? I'm like, oh, no.
Yeah.
I don't want something that's too big, but I want it to be like reasonably big. Like, I don't want to do an actual foot hero. You know what I mean? And I want to do something that I wouldn't normally paint. So I was looking at the crone, the Daughters of Cain crone, because like Dale's looks so sick. It looks so cool. And so I was like, man, I kind of want to paint that model. And I was like, $75 for like that small model? And I was like, man, it's a named character too, right? So
Yeah. You know where it would be less though?
what's that?
Richmond reroll.
That's true. Richmond reroll.
Especially if you order it in
Is
directly from them.
uh-huh.
It'll be X% less. I don't know if I can actually say that on live.
That's what I was wondering too.
Yeah.
It will be cheaper.
It will be. It will be cheaper. Yeah.
They are at, I think they are tied for the cheapest discount that's allowed.
Yeah, that I've seen for sure.
Right.
But yeah, I don't think I've seen anywhere cheaper. So,
No.
And in the Vancouver area, that's a steal. Go to richmondreroll.com.
Or maybe .ca.
It is .com. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Or check out your local store, of which there is one. Yeah.
Arthur put it in the chat. What the hell, Mecro? I'm not a feet guy. Who told you that? Matthias says $65. Okay.
Rob, I want to say, like, that reaction to him accusing you of being one makes me think you definitely are one.
I'm not. You guys don't want to know what I'm. Like, feet is so tame. Like, really?
Amateurs.
Yeah, amateurs, you know? I am a big fan of Quentin Tarantino. I will say that. Oh, maybe it's because I played Judy in Street Fighter 6. By the way, we got announced Sagat. I have been waiting. He's my favorite character. I love him. They showed him off. Great. Do you know who Kenny Omega is? He's a Canadian pro wrestler that works in like the Japanese pro wrestling scene. And he plays fighting games and stuff like that. He was on Cross Counter and a bunch of stuff like that. And so he's like super well known. And he did like a live trailer for all the new characters. And yeah, anyway, I know that has nothing to do with anything, but you can fill out your bingo cards. And I got it out there. I love Sagat. I haven't been playing any Street Fighter because I've been too busy, but that's all going to change. When he comes out, I'm just going to be like, okay, guys, you know.
Yeah. Channel's canceled for the next 3 months.
Yeah,
Sorry.
for the next, like 2 weeks or something. Yeah, you won't see me. Like every now and again, you know, like if you've got like a lot of like really busy and or stressful things going on, sometimes you just need like a little something to kind of go and do. And Street Fighter's not it, but I have been playing a bit of Kazan. If you're into Korn, if you're into Souls games or both, it is the game for you. It is so good. It's harder than most of the Souls games. I think it's probably like roughly the same as Sekiro, which is generally known as the hardest one. But it has tight combat like Sekiro. So yeah. What the hell, Fonzie? Why? Oh wait, unless you're talking about Quentin Tarantino, and then that sort of makes sense. A cannon. Oh, you painted a cannon for the first one, Matisse. I couldn't go to that one, and then I got.
It was really good.
Was it?
Yeah. That was like, yeah. I saw that and I like. No offense, Matisse. I almost couldn't believe it was you. Like it was like you clearly put a lot of time and effort into it. Like,
but Matisse
since then he's been getting he's been putting a lot more effort into his stuff, and
I disagree with you slightly because his OBR have always been awesome.
They're awesome conversions, but he's as of recent like brought them up more with like highlights and additional things. Like he's been, and then also another thing I want to commend him for is he bought a Daughters of Cain army. And then he bought more models that were unpainted and painted them up with the same scheme. And then he basically like put a whole bunch of them on a table and he's like, which one did I paint? And I wasn't able to find out.
Damn, hell yeah, dude.
So really well
done.
To
see it. You love to see it. I painted the what's it called? The centaur or minotaur guy from Slaves to Darkness. In the last one.
Centurion Marshall?
No, the he's like a minotaur.
Yeah.
Oh no, yeah, he's a centaur. I mean the minotaur guy with the sword and the spear, or the spear and the shield.
Ogroid,
Ogroid Myrmidon.
Myrmidon. Yeah.
Yes, yeah. I had him from Warcry, like from the original Warcry, and I was like, well, I'm never gonna play. I'm never gonna actually play with this model, and I was like, I want to try out fire effects or whatever, and it came out like way better than I thought I was gonna be able to do. Rob seems like a technical typo guy. You guys are just picking stuff at, well, no, maybe not. I mean, I guess I do have a Kraken as the as the logo that I designed for the channel. Yeah. Maybe. Yeah. Don't tempt me with a good time.
And it says, in the AOS Souls like would be cool. The reforging system would fit it.
Yeah. You know, okay. Let me just like, because I've heard other people say, Stormcast Eternals like Space Marine game, right? But what if it was an Iron Jaw, and then you're not coming back? It's just a different guy. So like every time you come back, you get like different features. You know what I mean? Like sometimes he's like, like got a big scar, and sometimes he's like missing an arm, or I don't know. But like every time it's just a different orc, Or like you almost die in the lore and then you come back bigger and stronger. It's kind of like the opposite of, yeah. That would be sick though. I mean, honestly, like I'm not a huge fan of Stormcast Eternals, but I would totally play a Stormcast Marine game. You know what I mean? Like a Space Marine game with Stormcast. That would be sick. Yeah.
Yeah, that would be pretty cool. The I agree, like there's a lot of lore in Age of Sigmar that actually works really well for games, and reforging Stormcast is definitely, it's basically like, here's a free roguelike mechanic. Like, thanks.
Yeah.
Right.
And then like what is they could actually program in like a downside to it too. Like if there's a story, like you're just like, you lose dialogue options the more times you die, because they're just like, I don't care,
Yeah, the game that I worked on actually tried to do that, but it just didn't have enough time in the oven, so it didn't really work. But it's but it's definitely like ripe for the picking. I think that for an Age of Sigmar game to be successful, I think it needs to focus not on like classically what we've seen in Warhammer games in the past, where it's just like you take Total War Warhammer, and people really like that game, and they're like, I can't wait for my army to come out. And it's almost about like your army being in the game. That's true. Then like Dawn of War was the same thing, where it's just like, I can't wait for my army's expansion to come out. And it shouldn't just be like, here's base game plus my army's skin.
Right.
I think a really good example of a successful Warhammer game that has nothing to do with that is actually Bolt Gun, where it's just like, here's a really Bolt Gun.
Oh, Bolt Gun. Yeah, that's true.
It's like, here's just like a really snappy, like, you are a Space Marine and you're just like playing Doom essentially, and that's it. Like, and it has nothing to do with like, and you could play every faction in the game and blah blah blah, and just like none of this crazy scaling. Just like make a self-contained, really tight experience that just involves like one slice of the world. And I think that would be like a successflike AOS game. Almost like it doesn't even matter that it's AOS; it just happens to be.
I think that's key,
right?
And I think the other thing that's key too is like there's many examples of this for all time. Carson, you're probably even more familiar with like the history of IPs in video games, but like going back to like the original NES, probably to the Atari 2600 even, when they have an IP, it's like, okay, we spent all the money on getting the IP. You know what I mean? And then it's a lot of time it's rushed out, and they're not able to do enough, and then the game is crappy, and it just seems like a cash grab. Like a lot of the Ninja Turtle games, a lot of the Spider-Man games, but like some of the best games we've ever had, like Spider-Man 2 on the PS2 was like insane, and that was like from a movie. It was, you know what I mean? But it was like just so insanely awesome. Like you're swinging from actual webs from buildings, and there's like physics mechanics in it and everything. Like that game blew the roof off. You know what I mean? And Total War Warhammer is another game that like really came out. But I think like they'll have to like, I think what they have to do is basically, instead of being like, I don't know how it works, but like I think if GW took like a smaller cut, and they're just like, we're just looking for this. You know what I mean? I know they have their IP stuff where they have to like manage it for lore purposes, that's fine. But the issue is more just like someone in the chat, Saul said, give me a Diablo style AOS game. We had that. Or I mean, it's old world. It was fantasy, but it was called Chaos Bane. It was actually awesome. There was like 2 problems with it. One was like you had to be the character, so you weren't like a random character. You know what I mean? And then the other issue was like it wasn't supported. But like I feel like that's probably on the GW side of things. You know what I mean? I don't know, but I think it sold really well and everyone really liked it. And I really liked it, you know? I think if they just supported that game would have been sick. It's actually on sale right now. I just noticed it the other day.
Chaos Bane?
Yeah, Warhammer Chaos Bane or Chaos. I think it might even be one word, but it's a Diablo style game. Super fun. I really liked it. You're going up against all the main 4 chaos gods. The first one was Nurgle, and then I think it's Khorne. I can't remember. It's been years since it came out, though. Give me a Skyrim style game with AOS? God dang, yes, absolutely. That would be rad. That would be super rad. I would take that. Any kind of
make
action.
Skyrim again.
Just make Skyrim. That's true.
Yeah. Just do it.
Like,
it's fine.
Yeah. Or Oblivion. Like, I guess, that might work.
yeah. Just make it again.
Yeah.
But like with AOS. Yeah.
But with AOS, yeah. Honestly, like even just like a mod for that game would be kind of rad. Now that I think about it.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah. Baldur's Gate, but it's set in the AOS world. Yep, another great idea. Vermintide. Yeah, I mean, actually, Vermintide, that game is sick. Like, we were playing that forever. That game's super fun. So, yeah. Dang it, everyone's saying all these great ideas. Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, but you're a skink? Like, that would be awesome, too. But back to what people were getting excited for. I saw a couple of things that like armies that people were excited for, but now I'm... Thank you, Asri, by the way, for saying Burgerlust, as is the proper name. The frogs, centaurs, red knights, falcons. Thanks, guys. Frogs is sick. That's so original. I've never seen like that is the high school mascot. A ghostly Mustang. Whoa.
I know they mean that like a horse, but I was imagining like a car.
oh yeah. I thought that I actually still thought that until you said that. Yeah. Because like usually you'd see like a stallion or because I don't even know what like a Mustang horse looks like exactly. So, but yeah, that makes sense. Wow. Doubt I'll get them built this year, but FEC, love monstrous traits. Yeah, that's true. FEC look really cool. Hannah says, I'm not a huge fan of Stormcast, but their lore is super interesting. Allows for great story building. Yeah, like, I'm like, I think that's true. I think a lot of people think that, I'm not one of those people, but like when I got into AOS, like, I mean, I don't think it's any less true now, but like everyone had a Stormcast army because they were like the new faction that came out in AOS 1. And all the new models for the first, I forget how many years where there was pretty much just only Stormcast. And then, KO came out and Sylvaneth came out and whatnot, but like, yeah, so I kind of got OD'd on them before I could even, the closest I was ever in, like almost getting into, Stormcast was at the start of AOS 2 when the Tigers came out. Or whatever, the kitty caters, we called them at the time. And like the mage guys or whatever. And I read the book by Josh Reynolds. And I was like, oh, shoot, like this is kind of awesome. But then they squatted that whole line recently. So it's probably a good thing. Yeah. too soon. I remember playing that at launch. Had a really bad balancing off the bat. Yes. Yeah, I think you're talking about Chaos Bane, Caden. And yes, it had terrible balancing, but it was super fun. Addictive. Yeah, I mean, honestly, any action game set in AOS I would be super down for. But yeah. Right. So we've covered that, right? Should we talk about the points changes at all?
Yeah, we can talk about that. Sure. We don't have like a summary document that we can exactly.
We can't show anything.
Yeah.
What do you think are the most interesting points adjustments that we think we know of?
Cities probably is like a big one for sure.
Scary. Yeah.
Scary. Yeah. I don't know. It's tough. I can't remember exactly like all of the things that have been changed. I know like the armies that I played relatively what went down, and it seems pretty inconsequential. Like I know Slaves to Darkness, I don't think there was really anything crazy that went down. Ogres, it was just like some of the hunters and the tyrant and stuff like that, which I don't think is going to really change things much.
No.
But
because like it's not like something you want to take. It's kind of like the Scaven problem before. It's like, look at all these points changes, and you're like, yeah, but I didn't want to take any of that stuff anyway, right?
Yeah, exactly. And I think it's interesting that like a lot of armies just went down in points, period.
Yeah.
So it's almost like if you didn't go down in points, it was like a nerf.
That's true. That's true. Yeah.
I mean, so like, it kind of seems like they want the game to be a little bit bigger.
Yes, and I'm a little worried that might get out of control because like there's a tendency to, as the game progresses, it just tends to get lower and lower. Oh, I just realized I don't actually have the document. So I only remember my armies as well. And some of them, like, I didn't even look at, like IDK. I don't know if they changed anything, but we're on the cusp of a new book, so I don't really care. Scaven got a bunch of changes, as we talked about. Ironjaw's got a bunch of changes, but mostly just to like heroes. Like the Mega Boss went down like 20 points, or the Shaman like 10. A bunch of like little things like that. The Mega Boss on foot. Yeah. A bunch of like stuff like that. So like on average, most of my Ironjaw's lists went down like 40 to 70 points, around there. Most of my Skaven lists are down over 100 points though. Like most of them are like down like 130, 140 points. But yeah. Yeah. The Molder stuff mostly. Didn't it take them a while to get a bunch of sets and stuff? My Skaven Molder list loves the points. Yeah. Yep, me too. I was running Molder against Carbson yesterday. It was interesting. I'm not sure what I think of it now. Yeah.
Feels like it lacks teeth a little bit.
Yeah, that's how I felt. And like my stuff still died really easy. Now I did roll a 1 or a 2 every single time on my Molder ability.
But you had no opportunity to fight with them anyway.
No, except the Brood Terror got to fight.
Murdered.
It murdered, and like it punched better than it should have too. Like we definitely figured out that it was hitting above average. But yeah, no, that was fun. That was the one fun part of that game. Yeah, your ogres list is really good. I really like it. I think it's
it seems balanced, which is kind of nice.
It's balanced, and I think strategically, I think it's a good list. Yeah, so
I hope so.
Yeah,
I'll probably be bringing that to Battered Bison. So
nice.
Fun. Instead of 36 Gluttons, which is what I'm bringing to Edmonton. Speaking of,
I mean, oh yeah, because Edmonton is on the old GHB. keep forgetting that. It just blows my mind. Like, I'm not going, so it's not like something I need to like keep in my head, I guess. But yeah. Mechret says, I know Scaven and Nurgle got really nice points drops. I didn't know that about Nurgle. And like a bunch of people were saying Nurgle might be a problem coming up anyway. So maybe that's a good one to do. Okay, I love your idea about a video game, Saul. If the points adjustment are true, the KO is getting a lot more models on the table. That sort of makes sense too, considering, you know, the rules changes that we're seeing. Most of the points reductions are to non-caster foot heroes across the board, and even some of them, like, you know, like the shaman, it went down for Iron Jaws. It's only 10 points, but you know, it's better than the opposite. Most of the Fonzie wanted 130 point Snake Ladies. I mean, don't we all? Slash got a ton of drops. Crew Boys also got decent drops. I think they did. I'm pretty sure they got like pretty darn good drops, but I'm just not inspired to play them. And it's not because they're bad. Like they were never, they might have been good at one point in AOS 3, but like I wasn't playing that style. And yeah, I just don't really, I don't know, like Iron Jaws are so much fun. And I'm really enjoying painting them in my paint scheme. So yeah. And converting stuff and converting Scaven.
The paint scheme looks good too. Like I remember I walked into the room and it was like searing bright pink. Like,
yeah. If your retinas don't bleed just a little bit, then I won't go home happy. Yeah. Thank you. I think.
Yeah, no worries. Yeah. I mean, I said it looked good. Like it's.
That's true. That's
that
true. Yeah. Yeah, that's true. Yeah. I actually didn't remember. I didn't like when you said that. I wasn't sure that you were referring to my Iron Jaws. I was like, what do you think looked good? And then you said bright, searing pink when you walked in. I was like, well, he's got to be talking about my thing now. Yeah. Yeah. Like once I was driving out to my brother's place and I can't remember why. Oh yeah, I wanted to do like a slow grow thing or something. I can't remember what it was, but I was driving out to my brother's place and I was like trying to come up with different armies that I could do a slow grow with or whatever. And then I was just like, okay, but if I were, you know, if I'm going to work on this army, then what am I going to, you know, what's my paint scheme going to be and what am I going to do? And then I just like thinking about that kind of thing. And then I got to Iron Jaws and I was like, ooh, I wanted to play Iron Jaws for so long. I started them up during the pandemic, but I just didn't like the old Ard Boys and some stuff like that. The new models look insanely awesome. Always wanted to play them. And so then I was like, okay, but I need to come up with a paint scheme. So it's like, okay, well, I've seen, like, I always, back when I got them originally, I was going to do like Iron Jaws of the North, like frozen, you know, like sort of tealy skin and like frost, you know, like you've probably seen my Space Wolves, like what I did with the weapons. So, yeah, so I really like that effect and whatnot. And then, you know, and I was thinking like maybe some darker armor and kind of something, you know, a little different than what I normally do. And I was like, but like, I'm not excited to do that. You know what I mean? And then I thought back to when Eric was going to do Gene Stealer Cult. And you remember, you know, Big Pat? He was a 40K player. He's a Necron player. When 9th edition came out, because Necrons, as you know, were the main force in 9th edition, he was like, we were talking in the store, and he was like, I'm going to do Synthwave Necrons. And I was just like, oh man, I've never, and I said this to you guys too, I've never seen someone do Synthwave, I said to him, which was true. I hadn't. And then Eric was going to do it for his Gene Stealer Cult. And he started it, but, you know, he just kind of did the base coat and then, you know, lost steam on them a bit and went to other stuff and whatnot. And then I was just like, I've been thinking about it ever since then. And I was like, Iron Jaw Synthwave, and I was like, God dang it! Like once I came up with that idea, I was like, I have to buy them now. Like I have to buy this army and I have to paint the scheme. And I was really worried about like because like I have seen like some 40k synthwave, and this is not the case since then. But like I said to you guys, I've never seen it like executed before, and then you guys sent me like a bunch of links, including Andy, who's like sent me this channel that's basically dedicated to painting different 40k armies synthwave. But like they weren't like they didn't feel synthwave to me. Like a lot of them didn't. You know what I mean? I was like, I get where they're coming from. I get the idea, but now I know how hard it is. Like it's crazy hard to get things that bright. But I'm having a ton of fun. Like other than Scaven, it's the most fun I'm having painting an army right now. But like what you were talking about earlier though, about like, you know how you were saying like Slaves of Darkness, like I was going to say earlier, you were talking about like, yeah, okay, what's another color combo? It's not even just that. Like when you're working with different colors each time, there's like some stress that goes involved into just figuring out how to paint this new color, this new style, this new whatever, right? And that was like the main thing stopping me and slowing me down with Iron Jaws. It's just like, I don't know how to execute what I'm seeing in my head. And that's kind of why I'm hoping that Cities will be a much easier army for you to paint anyway. But yeah. Heresy for Heretics is an amazing channel. Is that the one with the synthwave? I'm good at ideas. I'm terrible at implementing those ideas. That's how I think a lot of people feel, Ludivicus. But like, I'm like a slow painter. I don't think I'm a great painter, but like basically I'll just like keep going until you know what I mean? Until like I'm at least satisfied with that I achieved what I saw in my head. And sometimes it takes a really long time. And I end up repainting a lot of armies. Like I'm on my third version of Scaven at this point. and I have a lot of Scaven. I basically repainted them in second edition, and now I'm like doing a totally different scheme for this edition. But at least now I'm happy with it though. Like I'm actually happy. I was never happy with the first edition. I was never happy with the second edition, and now I'm actually happy. So that's good. But yeah. You're here for tournament chatter? Well, prepare to be disappointed. It's mostly been nonsense, actually.
Yeah. Yeah, it's tough to talk about Edmonton just because, as I was saying before, they never release lists before the tournament actually starts. But definitely there's a couple things to talk about for Edmonton. Like we've kind of covered that it's going to be on the old GHB, which is unfortunate. And we've also covered that the app is going to be updated tomorrow, which is extra unfortunate because that means we have to not update our app. Or honestly, I probably still just will.
That's what I was going to say. Yeah.
Because I know all my rules and it's fine. It'll be okay.
And like, I guess the only downside is like, how do you show people? But I think all that stuff is on websites.
A lot of it hasn't changed either. Like,
well, exactly. Yeah.
In fact, almost nothing for my army specifically would have changed, and then it would just be a core rules change.
Nice.
Yep. But yeah, Edmonton. It's the first GW Open that's in Canada. They've just like released their sign up form, or not form, but like the BCP is live, so we can kind of start seeing people piling in. It's got 70 people signed up so far, which is actually a little less than I thought it would be. But I have a feeling it's probably going to be like closer to Tacoma sized, where it'll be like mid 80s probably at this point. Like I think we've probably got past like the big bulk, and I think there's going to be a bunch of people like the day before that'll register and whatnot.
Are you talking about? You're still talking about Edmonton, right?
Yep.
Weren't they going to have like? Didn't it look like they were going to have a lot more people?
That's what I thought.
Did a lot of people drop out after they said it's not going to be the new GHB?
I know of a decent amount of people that did.
Did you? That's such a shame. Like,
yeah.
Sorry, I don't want to bring it up again, but I mean, it's super cool that they're doing a tournament in Canada, a big open tournament in Canada. I guess the other side of that coin is let's just be happy that they're doing one here. And you know what I mean? But like the thing that would suck though is if they take the wrong lesson out of here. If they're just like, oh well, AOS in Canada, not super popular, and it's like, well, you didn't use the new rules that everyone's excited about. You're using year-old rules, so what do you think was going to happen? But yeah,
it is still popular. Like it's because like the cap is 128 players,
right?
So if they get to like 80, 90-ish, like that's still pretty good.
Yeah, that's true.
Like Tacoma last year was 84 players when the new edition dropped, and they used the new edition for that.
Okay,
right,
nice.
So yeah, it'll be interesting to see like what will change, but I suspect there's a lot of it that's just like there's a lot of tournament saturation too. So
right,
yeah.
Yeah, I think Matt's agreeing with me that it seems like a lot of people canceled. I was worried about them learning the wrong lesson. That's so true. That's so true. Like I was talking with Chaos Andy the other day about them doing roadmaps and stuff like that. And like, I remember in like AOS 2, they did like a pretty detailed roadmap, and they did it a couple of times in AOS 3, not quite as detailed. And then when, you know, things went wrong, as happens, and then there was like a few noisy idiots who were just upset that like they didn't fulfill their roadmap perfectly. They were kind of like, I think they were kind of like, well, we're not going to do roadmaps anymore, and they kind of didn't for a while. But it's like, that's the wrong lesson. And I'm not saying the right lesson is to like get things on time. I'm just saying like, just set expectations. You know what I mean? Like with Corn too, like it would be so nice if like they just said like, yeah, like stop, you know, this happened with the Night Haunt, you know, with the Night Haunt. I'm talking like an old person, you know, and like any reasonable person's just gonna be like, oh, okay, cool. Like, thanks for letting me know. You know what I mean? Like the plumber was late today and they're amazing. I love this plumber. If anyone needs a plumber in this area, hit me up. I've got you. They were so good. Like really, really great. And he was just like, yeah, I think I'm going to be able to come there early. Is that okay? I'm like, no problem. And then I was like, you know, trying to be in the right area and whatnot. And then he messaged me and he's like, sorry, I'm not going to be as early as I said I was going to be. I'm going to be actually like 5 or 10 minutes later than original start time. And I was like, no problem. Thanks for letting me know. You know what I mean? Like, it's really, none of this is really actually a problem. Yeah, I don't know. They do have a tendency to learn the wrong lesson, but
I don't know. There's definitely a certain kind of person that will be a jerk about that sort of thing.
Yes.
And they're more numerous than you think.
Yeah, yeah, you make a good point.
Like it's not most people for sure, but it's enough people where it's like if you have any negative dialogue between you and your customer base and other customers can see it, like it looks bad. Right?
I guess that's true, but like okay, so you've got like, let's say you've got 100 people, right? And they make a roadmap. How many people does that make happy? All of them? Right? Okay.
Yep.
Now,
actually, no. Like, because there's going to be some people that don't like what's on the roadmap.
My army. Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
fair
exactly.
enough.
Yeah.
Almost all of them, though. Like, most people are happy at least that they're doing like a roadmap, that they at least know what's on the horizon. Like, even if it's not your army, like, okay, well, then now I know where to, you know, concentrate, right? So, like, let's say roughly 100%, right? Roughly 100, right? Now, from there, when they inevitably are not perfect, what's the percentage of people that are unhappy? Right? And it's like sure, those people are going to complain, but then like 100% of the people are like, it'd be nice if we had a roadmap. I don't know. Like my policy is always to like try and make the reasonable people happy. But having said that, like the plumber I talked to today, like he was telling me some of the insanely, like some people leave them a bad review on Google when they like gave them a quote, a free quote. They didn't charge them anything. They didn't like the estimate, and therefore they left a bad review saying that they're too expensive. But it's like, this cost you nothing. You know what I mean? And like, I've had a bad time with another plumber. Sorry, this is all about plumbers, but I don't know. Yeah, I would love it. I love roadmaps. I'm curious as to what happened with it, but yeah. Actually, we were talking about them learning the wrong lesson. We'll see. What do you think, Matt? I want to know. The cap was 120. Was it 120 or was it 130?
128.
128. That makes sense.
Yeah. It's
64
it's a
times
power of 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
Yep.
To the power of 2.
That's right. You're gosh darn right.
What was it from?
What?
Oh, like to the power of. Oh man.
I don't know.
Oh shoot. If someone remembers, please tell me.
I don't know.
It's okay to forget about the podcast, Pat. We're happy you made it. It's not tonight's is not like, there was not a lot of stuff announced, so
yeah.
Nighthawk was they were on the roadmap, Beefy. It said IDK like next, and like it was next was IDK and Nighthawk. They were in the same thing, and then it was like in the future, and it was like Korn, FEC, and KO, and we just didn't know the order of those two sections, but Nighthawk was in the same section as IDK. Nighthawk. Yeah, I don't disagree with you, Scotty. That's true. I think that's a good point that the vocal minority seems like a problem when they shape the dialogue. That's true. I think though, as a community, we need to not even just this community, but like in general, we need to kind of like know that there is like the squeaky wheel kind of thing, and that's not the majority of people. But I do understand like the optics sort of. The power of Grayskull. That's not what I was referencing, but awesome. I love it. Yeah. I think it was like a comedy, like cartoon, like Futurama or something like that. But, or maybe The Simpsons, but anyway. Dang it. Yeah, you guys both said the power of Grayskull. Yeah, that's true. Matt, I agree with that. Oh, man. I appreciate all your guesses. It was none of those things, but I really appreciate it. What is it? Matthew S. The power of Please check the Discord. I don't check the Discord during the stream, Beefy. Are you new here?
Yeah, how dare you?
Yeah. Also, the Discord is filled with stuff.
Yeah. I don't see anything that Beefy put in there recently.
Okay.
And
I don't see a message directly from him.
Edmonton's going to be a bit of a Shark Tank as well. There's a lot of people traveling to it from way on far that are very good. Like I know Beasley and his crew are going to be coming.
Yeah.
And I'll be staying in a house with them. And then Gavin Gregar from Team America.
The way you said that, I'm going to be staying in a house with them.
Yeah.
What is going to happen there?
Well, I'm just saying, if you want to send me an e-transfer, maybe one of them doesn't make it. You know?
Yeah.
What's
it? Oh man, what's her name? Nancy Kerrigan and Tanya Harding. You're gonna Tanya Harding one of them. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh
yeah.
baby.
Except people won't find out. Unless they watch this stream.
And it's gonna be like a big, yeah. It's gonna be a big thing of like mutton you hit them with instead of like a pipe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have a feeling that, myself included, a lot of people are just going to be bringing like whatever big bad list they brought before the GHB stopped. So like, I wouldn't be surprised if Beasley's bringing his world's list or something similar to it. I'll be bringing mine. Zeech, yeah.
Nice.
I'll be bringing mine, and I think, like, I'm almost positive John Zoshak is going to be bringing his Seraphon list. There's a There's a couple people, Team Canada people coming as well. Like I know Dom Elson's going to be coming with Braden in the chat there. I could see him bringing like Slaves to Darkness or Iron Jaws or something. Dale undoubtedly is going to be bringing Daughters of Cain. What else is he going to bring? I don't know what Carl's going to bring, the coach for Team Canada. I'm not sure. And then, yeah, lots of people coming from way further than I expected to Edmonton, like from here in the PNW to like Texas to Eastern Canada to like East Coast US. Like it's weird how many like different places people are coming from for this one tournament in the northernmost city in Canada.
Right.
And then another thing is that Saturday night is going to be one of the Stanley Cup playoff games between the Panthers and the Oilers
at Edmonton. You guys should be careful.
Yes.
Because they lost last year in Game 7. So,
well, if they keep getting pummeled like they have been, they will lose that night.
Oh God,
the series, which means we might die. Yeah.
I want all of our American friends to please bring an Edmonton hat to, it's like a little mystic shield for your head there.
Yep.
Beasley is bringing his prettiest boys.
I didn't know they made an army with Matthias in it. That's weird.
Ooh.
Interesting.
Is that
Braden's bringing virtually the same effect list that he's been playing for like 4 months.
Smart.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
$10 says Florida gets the cup in Edmonton on Saturday. I hope not. Not because of like supporting the Edmonton Oilers, which I do. Like they're a Canadian team. I'd rather they win than the Panthers do.
Yeah, fair.
But I don't want that to happen while I'm there, for sure. like
that's true.
We all knew what happened in Vancouver when that happened to us. Like in
both
2010,
times it happened.
Right?
yeah. 2011.
2011? Oh yeah, because 2010 was the Olympics. That's right.
Yeah, that was a different kind of chaos. But then 94 too. Yeah.
Yeah, and when you go to the Woodworths building downtown, there's like a big mural. Like the entire wall is just the 1994 riots.
Is it really?
Yeah, and I'm like, what a wild thing to
depict on a
Yeah.
Who signed off on that? Does it have the guy on the power lines or whatever? Oh man.
Yeah, exactly.
Jeez Louise. Oh, there's been a riot every time we lose in Game 7 of the Stanley Cup Finals.
It's the only time there's violent discontent in Canada is when
in Vancouver,
your hockey team loses. Yeah.
It's such a chill city. It's the weirdest thing. Like there is more marijuana here per capita than almost anywhere in North America. Maybe anywhere in North America. And yeah, it is. I don't know what it is. Yeah. What are you going to do? It's kind of embarrassing, actually.
It is.
Yeah.
It's fun to joke about, but it is embarrassing for sure.
Yeah.
Good night, Braden. Thanks for tuning in.
Thanks, Braden.
And I'll see you this weekend.
Yeah. That's super cool. Oh, man. It's going to be great. Not any riots that happen, obviously. You know what's funny, though, is like you talk about like cheering for the Canadian teams. I used to do that hardcore, probably more than the average. So there's a lot of people like I think it's pretty common understanding. Like a lot of people understand like that this happens, but like you have two teams that are like nearby, right? So you have Vancouver and you have like Calgary, right? And we like tend to cheer against each other, but cheer for other Canadian teams more. But like I wasn't like that, and I kind of I wasn't really super aware of it. But I used to work downtown in the tourist industry, and then we got like knocked out of the playoffs a couple of years in a row. And both times there was like people from Edmonton, like in the city. And I was like, good job, you guys. Or actually, no, sorry. It was mostly people from Calgary. Almost none of them, only like one person from Edmonton did this to me. Almost everyone was from Calgary. And I was like, yeah, good job. You made it to the next round. You guys are going into whatever round of the playoffs or whatever. And they're like, yeah, Vancouver lost. Suck it. I'm just, what the hell, man? I was literally cheering for your team, you dick. Yeah. It happens so much. And so, yeah, I find it hard to cheer for Calgary in particular. But, yeah.
That's fair.
Yeah.
That's just like a good life motto, I think. Outside of the context of hockey.
You're not wrong. You know what? The weird thing, though, is like a lot of people won't know this, but most Canadian people cheer against Toronto unless they're from Ontario. Because...
Even if you are from Ontario, I don't think...
a lot of people from Ontario actually hate on the Maple Leafs as well. But like, it's pretty common outside of Ontario because like we don't have like a lot of TV stations traditionally in Canada. And so we had TSN, and a lot of people call it the Toronto Sports Network because like all they ever talked about was Toronto. And so then they get like extra hate because it's just like, you know, there's that jealousy, I guess. But yeah.
Yeah. I will say it was cool just because like all of the EA Sports or like NHL video games that came out are made in the Vancouver area.
That's true. Yeah.
So it was cool playing the video games as a kid and hearing like John Shorthouse, who is like the color comment. Is he the color commentator or the announcer? I can't remember. Basically like that duo.
Yeah. Yeah.
Being the ones talking over the video game. And I'm like, it's just like when I listen to the radio. And then I remember tuning into like other people's hockey games and hearing different voices, and then I like something clicked where I realized like, oh yeah, it's not just two guys doing all of hockey.
Hockey, yeah. yeah. But there's multiple games going on every night, and you're just exactly. like, how are they doing this?
These guys are crazy. Yeah, I don't get it. Yeah.
Interdimensional nonsense. Yeah, that's true. I actually knew a bunch of people who worked on those games.
Me too.
And some of them played Age of Sigmar and 40K as well. Yeah. Terrible people. But
horrible.
Great games. Awesome. Yeah. Pat said that like they've got a list of a security memo for the most dangerous cities to do layovers, and Caracas, Rio, and Edmonton. How is that possible? And like, it's not like the number 1 murder capital of Canada, is it? I don't think so.
I don't know what is right now. Saskatoon was for a while.
Sorry, it's so weird. I know. Yeah. That I've heard. I haven't heard that, but I've heard Chicago called Chirac before. That made me laugh. It's terrible, but it's funny. So whatever. But it's a lose-lose. You lose the cup and you destroy your city. It's not Winnipeg. Yeah, Winnipeg's number 2. Yeah, take that.
Beefy, I just want you to know that no one said Winnipeg yet.
And you're
like kind of incriminating yourself.
It's not Winnipeg. We're not number 1.
Yeah.
Yeah. No one said that. Yeah, they were number 2 though, I think, right?
They're up there. They're for sure up there.
Well, because like the first year you guys went to Winnipeg, someone posted just like like a picture of the murder rate or whatever it was, the violent crimes rate or whatever. Winnipeg was like number 2. Man, it's not the murder capital yet. Oh, you meant Edmonton is no Winnipeg. Okay, yeah. I was going to say, because like he's usually the first person to crap on Winnipeg. So that makes a lot more sense. I actually 100% believe that. Yeah. Do you remember when him and Mike were on the podcast and like they were dogging Winnipeg so bad, man. And Mike went on his rant about GoTrek.
We all remember that rant.
We all remember it, and it all came true. Like the funny thing too is I didn't even really feel that. Like I didn't actually like totally agree with him, but if you watch the short that Carson made, it seems like I'm just loving it. Like I hate GoTrek. I actually love GoTrek. I didn't feel that way at all, but I love a good rant. He was just going off. It's so good. It's been Thunder Bay and Winnipeg for years, like 20, really. We always talk about Surrey, but maybe in the great scheme of things, it's not that bad. But
Surrey's bad for like gang violence, but
okay,
there's like a difference. It seems weird to make a distinguishing thing, but like gang violence is usually like gang on gang, and if you're not associated, it's like
it can be. Yeah,
this doesn't really affect you usually. Like, and also it's gotten much better over the years too. Like it's been gentrified, frankly.
Yeah.
But
it's better. Yeah, it's still up there. It's still on. I think it's on all the top 10 lists. But
yeah, it's up there for sure.
Yeah, I mean, like we've come a long way since like what was it, the Surrey 6 and all that jazz. But yeah. Actually, a local game store owner was called in to be a juror on that case.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
That was crazy. Yeah.
He was super angry about it too.
He was so upset.
Yeah.
But then he researched how to like get out of it or whatever. Like there's a very easy way to get out of it as it turns out. But yeah. I feel like none of these Canadian places are bad. Yeah, I mean, it's all relative, you know? Like you compare the top like 20 cities to anywhere in Japan and they're all like so much insanely worse. It's crazy. It'll make your head spin. Korea too. Like, but then you compare it to, you know, I don't even want to say, you know what I mean? Like a lot of places, you know, like I've got family from South Africa, for example. Like, holy smokes. We have no idea how lucky we are, you know? So, yeah. Anyway, on that happy note. But yeah. Anything else to talk about?
I don't think so.
I feel like we've been
not a
just
bad
kind
time
of
to wrap it up.
Yeah, you've just been going on Steam the whole episode. But
I'm no longer numb, but that does mean that I feel what the dentist did now. So I should probably go take a Tylenol or something.
Yeah, hopefully you can eat. You know, pretty soon.
Yeah, should be fine.
Nice.
It'll be fine.
For
Coffee
those that just
and
joined us,
gummies,
yeah, ice cream.
Yum.
It's a good time for ice cream.
It is.
It's cooler today than it was the last few days, but yeah. Awesome. Well, thanks to everyone for joining us. We had a great time. I hope you guys enjoyed us just mostly faffing about and, you know, talking nonsense. Hopefully you got something painted. We are streaming tomorrow. Probably going to be Ogres versus Scaven, almost certainly. Maybe Ogres versus something else if Kenrick takes over for me. I'm not sure, but yeah, it should be a good time. So tune in for that. We are playing the new GHB. And yeah, thanks everyone for hanging out. We'll see you guys next week. Goodbye.